So I'm just going to go with a question I want to ask first, since I have limited time, and that is, do you both feel there should be more male frontal nudity in American cinema?
Definitely.
Okay, good answer. Okay. Well, I know you had said that with American acting contracts that they're very specific in terms of what body parts will be shown, whereas in French cinema, they're just more sort of relaxed about it.
Well, you know, it's true that in France, I've never signed a contract with any details on what was gonna be filmed or not. But it was very interesting working in the States that everything is so detailed, and so I guess it's just a different way of working.
Sure, sure. Any thoughts, Taylor?
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea that the lens in this film is being taken off of women specifically and swung onto our, men for a little while. I think that it's great.
Yeah,
I enjoy that. I don't see that quite as much.
Right.
I love it. Like, no one noticed that I'm naked in this movie. I mean, no one has told me, oh, you're naked in this movie. It's like, because there's naked mans.
Right.
So it's like, suddenly it makes me, be naked and okay. Like, no one pays attention, which is good for me.
Okay. And now back to the more professional question, and that is, how did Patrick get the script to the two of you, and what made you say yes?
I got a call from Mark Duplass, and whose work I'm very much a fan of, and the script was wild. I mean, the ending especially, I was not sure how it would go. But after meeting with Patrick and talking to Mark quite extensively, it seemed pretty clear that they had a interesting vision. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, Mark's also sent me the script, and I loved it. I thought it was so well written. I was like, this writer has a very, very long, career in front of him. And then I met the writer, who's actually the director, and I was convinced that I had to be in this movie. And, and I think I was right.
It's funny stuff. Have either of you ever said no to a role, and why?
Yeah, there have been a few I feel so lucky every time I get offered anything. And I mean, I feel really fortunate for that. And I think, but it's more about when the pieces surrounding, first of all, I mean, it has to be a story that's interesting, but it generally depends a lot on the director and the people that would be I'd be collaborating with that kind of make or break whether it works.
I could really work with some people without even reading anything. It's like some directors, I don't care. I mean, if Wes Anderson was calling me, I don't even want to read. It's like, to me, it's really a lot about the director. Of course, it's also about the script, but it's totally about the director.
Right. You'd mentioned that you were all shooting at night most of the time, and that sometimes you were all very tired, even though you're having a great time, and it actually lent itself well to your being inebriated in the film. How do you balance that? Because you're both so busy, and knowing that you have to show up on set, and that time management, and also refreshing yourself, because I would imagine that could take a toll after a while, just being tired and
It's hard. I mean, that's a very difficult, I think, specifically for this movie, it was hard for me, just in other areas. But in general, that's a tricky thing, figuring out how to, I feel like that is the question.
I don't manage it at all.
Yeah.
My kids were like waking up when I was supposed to go to bed. I mean, it's a whole thing when you have kids. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna be like the mom during the day and work all night long. And people do that in their everyday life. So it's like it's always you have to find ways. But it was like exhausting, but very interesting because very motivating because we loved the film and the script.
Well, it didn't show, so yeah.
And it was funny to see each other every day and be like, how tired are you? Because it would be every night for 11 nights, so you could see us go like more and more tired. But we shot chronologically, so it helped.
Yes, absolutely.